Hey guys. 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 Everybody together, guys. Good luck. Oh, come on, guys. Holidays are over. Let's go to work. Come on. European Le Mans Series 2019. Race 1, action. Yeah!
Welcome to Le Castellet for the first round of the 2019 European Le Mans Series. We have got an incredible grid with 41 cars for the season opener, 14 of which will be participating at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in June. But before the action gets underway, let's see what challenge lies ahead for our competitors at this 5.7-kilometre track here in the south of France.
Le circuit du Castellet, c'est pas vraiment un circuit.
The circuit here at Le Castellet really is like no other. It's atypical with its own unique demands, but that's so much a part of its appeal. Some drivers like it, but some don't. With an LMP2 car here, though, it's an absolute treat. It's a fast track and you can really use the full potential of the car. It's so enjoyable. Some of the corners allow you to use the curbs, but in others, the car just won't have it. My favourite sector is the first sector. You've really got to commit to it. Turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, they're all about being brave enough to carry speed on the inside. When you get those corners right, you really know all about it, and the split time confirms that feeling. Mistral straight's very long. You go all the way up the gears, full speed, and then Senior approaches very, very quickly.
Très très vite et de plus en plus vite. Cette courbe de
Senior is flat out, but it's not easy. You turn in at over 300 kilometers an hour. You've got to really commit to it, find the right line. It's a real thrill when you don't need to lift. You just turn in, foot down, and then you feel the downforce giving the grip to the car at full speed. It's like magic.
Et rien qui se passe, c'est magique.
Once again, LMGTE is all about Porsche versus Ferrari, but new teams and drivers will add spice to a category renowned for its wheel-to-wheel racing. The reigning champion 88 Proton competition Porsche is back with a different lineup, and among the F488 Ferraris, new entry Lusic Racing could be a strong contender.
I feel very good, and the last time I stayed full-time in the European Le Mans Series was 2011, and last race 5 years ago in Austria for one race only. And now I'm very happy to be again here. 5 Ferrari, 4 Porsche. Let's see who has the nose in the front.
It's always a fight between us and Porsche here, basically. But I'm used to fight with them in WEC as well. We're starting a new season. The goal is always win, especially if you drive for Ferrari and you drive a Ferrari, so the target is always the victory. But I know everyone is here for the victory, so let's try and let's see at the end.
The race in Le Castellet will also be one for the history books, with the first all-female driver lineup on the ELMS grid, powered by Kessel Racing.
It's a story to tell anyway, but we like to race. I'm used to it. Doing so many years of motorsport, you get used to the jokes even, but they're part of the business, and it's nice that we get the opportunity to have an all-female car, and we will do our best to perform. The target is to show our pace in qualifying, so we work hard for a good qualifying for sure, but the competition will be really high. We have really good names on the grid, so we are looking forward to fight with them and to finish the race, to get the experience, most important thing.
There are no fewer than 14 entries in the tough LMP3 category, with 9 Légers and 5 Normas. All of the 2018 frontrunners have returned. Champions RLR M Sport, runners-up into Europol competition, both boasting 2-car teams. Among their main opponents are United Autosports, Nielsen Racing and Ultimate, all keen to assert themselves in 2019.
I know it's a fantastic team and the mechanics are doing a great job, so it must be up to us three as drivers to perform and to be up there again to win the championship. The competition is really high, and I think even higher than compared to last year. I always aim to win. If you don't aim to win, you're never going to do it. But it's a tough competition, and let's see after the first race.
Well, obviously we're very excited. We've switched chassis, so we're learning about the normal chassis at the moment. But yeah, really looking forward to it. We had a good winter in Asia. That was good to go to some different tracks. We haven't really stopped racing. We did some testing in March and straight back into it. So it's brilliant. Trophies. Yeah, that's all I need. Is as anybody who knows me, I just would like to win trophies.
The championship's really appealing. I mean, LMP3, it's a super category. It's got a perfect mix with pro drivers and gentlemen like me. But as for us, we're going to keep an eye on our rivals. I'm sure they'll do the same. And we'll see. Lots of teams could be on the podium. So from our side, we'll just try and focus on our race setup. We want to push our luck and avoid some of last year's misfortune. The eyes of the endurance racing world will undoubtedly be on LMP2 this year, with 18 cars on the grid. The ELMS boasts the biggest ever LMP2 pack. And driver lineups are equally impressive, with world and European champions, as well as 3 former F1 drivers. To defend their crown, reigning champions G-Drive Racing and Roman Rusinov welcome last year's rising star of LMP3, Job van Uytert.
The LMP2 grid this year is like one of the strongest we've had. It will be really tough, but we all have a good package going into this season, and I'm looking forward and I'm confident that we can do a massive job winning the title and hopefully winning Le Mans.
Last year's runner-up, the number 32 United Autosports car, is back with returning driver Alex Brundle, the 2016 LMP3 champion with the Anglo-American team.
There are some really, mega teams, mega drivers on the grid, but that's why we're here. Huh? So we're here to compete with the best guys in these cars, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be pretty strong as well. I think the team found a lot of confidence, in the middle of last year. Tyre manufacturer changed, but also, they started to work together in a really nice way. We're enjoying ourselves together, and we're going to keep winning races, hopefully.
Another returnee is 2017 champion Leo Roussel. He's joined into Europol competition as they move up from LMP3 to LMP2. Into Europol's a really good LMP3 team. They've already proved it in the past, and they also won last year's Asian Le Mans Series. So now we're getting ready to step up to LMP2. Our goal here is to get as many kilometres as we can, finish the race to gain experience, and it'll be the same in Monza because we're mainly preparing for Le Mans. Then after Le Mans, we should be able to focus on performance and results and maybe able to battle for the podium. Who knows? A new name in LMP2 is Carlin, famed in single-seater circles, but rookies in sports car racing.
Really looking forward to the weekend and the whole season as a whole. It's going to be a lot of learning, but I'm really looking forward to it, and I think the Carlin guys as well, being new to it, are really looking forward to it as well. It's going to be really competitive. I mean, biggest good of LMP2s I think ever in the LMS. It's not going to be easy. There's some really strong teams, but we'll try our best and see where we come.
It's race day at the Castellet. Yeah. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. You ready?
I can't wait to go racing. I mean, here we are in France. Our friends, our partners are here, so we're eager to do well. I think the level of endurance racing's never been this high. We really want to perform well in the ELMS. I mean, if you're a front runner in this championship, it means a lot.
Ça veut dire beaucoup de choses.
Lots of public here, loads of fans for the autograph session. It's really nice to meet them, and of course we'll do our best to put on a good show for them.
A really good championship, super competitive. Just excited to be here for the first race.
The weather is perfect, the cars are good. Yesterday very good qualifying, and happy is good with the big people to follow us.
We love the LMS.
Back with the 77, this time as Dempsey Proton Racing. Now, Matteo, is this going to be the start of the 77's winning season?
Actually, I mean, that's the dream, our dream. We are here to fight as hard as possible. We know that we have a competitive car, so the team is always on a high level of performance. So we have the best structure behind us. So we are here to win races, to try to win the championship, and that's the aim for this year.
Starting on pole today, what about your competition?
Actually, I mean, this track fits me pretty well, so I'm always feeling good here. So we did pole position yesterday. I was driving a great car, and we should have a good car for the race too.
Ever pole for the number 10 Oregon team, and Gustas, a first outing for you in an LMP3.
Yeah, I'm gonna become the youngest driver once I hit the speed limiter at some point today, and I think that's very exciting. I'm not really scared. I think we're all gonna be equal on track, and it's gonna be really fun in my first ever endurance race.
And we've had all sorts of weather in the lead up to this, so hopefully today is going to be good conditions for you.
To be honest, I don't care. It can be rain or sunshine. I'm confident in both, so whatever the weather brings, we're going to be ready, and we're going to hopefully fight for the win today.
been a great start for G-Drive. Norman Nato putting it on pole, standing for Jean-Eric Vergne for the first 2 rounds of this season. So what can we expect from this race from you?
Well, you know, in motorsport, like it's difficult to predict something. Like already, as I said yesterday, the pole position was quite difficult to get. So yeah, we didn't, to be honest, we didn't really think of walking for 1 lap only, but we just walk on the race setup because the degradation of the tire, especially the front, will be quite important here. So we just focused on the race setup, and yesterday, yeah, the engineer managed to give me a really good car for qualifying. So yeah, I did the job yesterday, and today, like we need to finish the job all together, and hopefully, like win this race.
It's time to go racing in the 2019 European Le Mans Series. On pole position, Roman Rusinov in the orange G-Drive racing car. On his right, Paul Lafargue for IDEC Sport.
We have started the 4 Hours of Le Castellet.
Away we go. This is Julien Canal, started 13th. He's already lost a spot or 2 there. Leader into the first corner, Roman Rusinov ahead of Paul Lafargue. Ryan Cullen, red, white and blue of United Autosports. That's the number 32 car in 3rd place. Behind him, James Allen's moved up to 4th for Dragon Speed, and Alexandre Coigny under pressure down the inside. The yellow nose, that's Anders Fjordbach, High Class Racing. He moves up to 5th. Coigny shuffled down 2 places from the start of the race. Well, not great for Cool Racing's Alexandre Coigny. G-Drive, IDEC and United, the top 3. Dragon Speed with a different livery this year, dark blue, there it is, but with the stripes up the nose still. He's under pressure as James Allen from the fast-starting Dane, Anders Fjordbach. Looking back for our LMP3 leaders, there's the black car, that's the Euro International car. Mikkel Jensen, he's the leader from Lucas Legeret with the yellow stripe on the M Racing car. And Jean-Baptiste Lahaye, red and white, ultimate. That's 1, 2, 3 in the tight LMP3 battle. Down the inside, Phil Hansen for United Autosports has a go at Alexandre Coigny, can't grab 6th place, he loses ground, Coigny drifts out wide. And there's Andrea Pizzatola, the pale blue Algarve Pro car, having a look now. In GTE, this is the battle for second. The poleman, Christian Ried, the silver and black Dempsey Proton Porsche, ahead of Egidio Perfetti for Project One. Then Horst Felbermayr, the blue colours on Proton's Porsche, ahead of Wei Lu in the red, yellow and black JMW Motorsport Ferrari. And he's the 2nd place Ferrari in the field because the leader in GTE is Fabien Laverne, the newcomer for Lutzich Racing with their Ferrari. Dempsey Proton, Team Project One and Proton competition. Christian Ried raced with his father when he started his career. So did Horst Felbermayr Jr., raced with Horst Sr. They were both father and son duos at the same time over a decade ago. Now, Egidio Perfetti dives up the inside. That's a good move. Through he goes for second. Leader up to senior. It's Roman Rusinov right ahead of Paul Lafargue and James Allen, who's up to 3rd place for Dragon Speed. Great opening sequence of laps for James Allen, putting them up into 3rd and chasing hard. Up to senior they come again around the outside. A great move. James Allen for 2nd place over Paul Lafargue. And Anders Fjordbach's yellow nose is right there as well. He's running down the IDEC Sport driver as they all sit on the tail of Roman Rusinov. Rusinov, the poleman, still leads, but the Dragon Speed boys are looking happy. Into turn one, look on the inside, Andrea Pizzitola for Algarve Pro, up to fourth ahead of Ryan Cullen's United Autosports car, and as Fjordback is passed by Pierre Rag, who's also climbing the order for Duquesne Engineering. Pizzitola started 12th, he's now up to fourth position. He's having a great start to the race, and the leaders are clearly visible in front as they work their way through traffic. 15 minutes in, the top six all together. Roman Rusinov ahead of James Allen and Paul Lafargue. Fourth place, Andrea Pizzitola leading the chasing pack, and the challenge there briefly from James Allen. Now can he cut around the outside to the inside? He's trying to use the traffic, goes the long way round and underneath Egidio Perfetti. Through he goes in the final corner. He has the lead of the race, and here comes Paul Lafargue from IDEX Sport. Didn't quite have the drive to get by Roman Rusinov. Now he's looking up the inside. Andrea Pizzitola goes by Fabien Laverne. All but contact from Ryan Cullen for the GTE leading Ferrari. Looks as though there was no major damage done there, and he won't have lost a lot of time, but these incidents can come back to haunt you. Well, let's take a look again at the start. Poleman Roman Rusinov with Paul Lafargue dropping in behind him. Then the United Autosports car in third. Side by side for fourth on the inside. James Allen, the dark car, gets the advantage. Watch from behind. Before the lights change, cars are fanning out. There's contact. And people checking up on their brakes to avoid running past other cars before the lights turn red. When they do, Roman Rusinov gets his foot down smartly to take the lead of the race. Well, they mainly avoided drama, didn't they? Just about everybody getting through nice and cleanly. This is always tricky. The lead in GTE, by the way, changed in turn one. Watch for Fabien Laverne coming around the outside of pole sitter Christian Reed. Battle for second place. Roman Rusinov just holding off Andrea Pizzitola in the pale blue Algarve Pro car. Paul Lafargue behind is under pressure as they come through P3 cars, and that's from the fast-pushing Pierre Rag. Rusinov in traffic now and in trouble behind the number 9 Real Team Racing LMP3 car. He's slow through the corner, so is Rusinov, and through goes the IDEX Sport car. Paul Lafargue goes by, and around him as well, Duquesne Engineering's Pierre Rag. Goes inside the LMP3 car. The move has been done. Rusinov down to 5th. Perhaps sensibly, Roman Rusinov taking no chances in traffic. Bring the car back in one piece. Race leader James Allen for Dragon Speed, 18 seconds clear out front. Shares with Henrik Hedman and Ben Hanley. They were paired together last year, of course, those two. Looking good, but barely half an hour into the race. GTE Battle, Ebby Motors Porsche and Kessel Racing Ferrari gives contact, and Claudio Schiavone comes off second best there. Sebastian Fortuna in the Ebby Motors Porsche dived inside, managed to hang on. GTE leader Fabien Laverne, Lutzich Racing new to ELMS Racing, and so is he. Here's the battle for third though. JMW's Wei Lu, the Canadian, and Christian Reed for Dempsey Proton, the 77 car. German trying to find a way round the outside into Senior. Can he be brave? Oh, a touch there. So he has to ease off the throttle. Wei Lu also went off wide. Well, let's hope neither of them have picked up a puncture from that. Looks like they are both okay. Oh, Wei Lu, no. Maybe that left rear has had the valve knocked off it. He drifted out very wide there. Battle for 6th place. Roman Rusinov holding off Bruno Senna. Bruno Senna, first time out for RLR M Sport. Rusinov, the defending champion with G-Drive. And Senna in the slipstream, towing up behind his rival. Couldn't quite get to him into Senior there, but there is traffic ahead. In the pits, James Allen, race leader for Dragon Speed, hands over to Sweden's Henrik Hedman, and Roman Rusinov replaced by Jaap van Uytert, last year's young LMP3 sensation.
I managed to get quite a good start. I gained a position, and then just on the straight it felt really good. I mean, we flew past the United car. I think it was Ryan was driving.
Henrik Hedman now at the wheel of the lead car then, or what was the lead car before the pit stops. He'll have to do a double stint to make sure he gets his minimum driving time in. So it'll be a long time behind the wheel for the Swede. Swede leads overall. A Dane leads in LMP3. This is Mikkel Jensen for Euro International. Chasing him is David Drew in the number 9 real-time racing entry. We saw that when we saw the leaders in traffic. This is the 1-2 in LMP3 after the first round of stops. Pierre Rag staying in at Duquesne Engineering. Now Henrik Hedman is the race leader. 4.444 seconds neatly done from Pierre Rag. He is closing in though. There is Hedman, and there is the Duquesne car of Pierre Rag. The gap coming down with every metre. So it won't be more than a lap or two before Pierre Rag is poised to attack. Don't forget, he did the first stint in the car, so he's been in for over 45 minutes now. Will be fully up to speed. Across the line they come once more. The gap down to barely a second. Henrik Hedman to Pierre Rag. The Frenchman can smell the car in front now. Duquesne Engineering with plenty of experience now, as have Dragon Speed. They're both newcomers to the championships a couple of years ago. And the battle for the lead makes it onto the Mistral Straight. Pierre Rag is perfectly placed. There's an LMP3 car in front. They're catching him very quickly. So this will be a double slipstream for Rag. And as Hedman goes by the Inter-Europol car, Pierre Rag pulls out of his slipstream and makes a lunge towards Senior for the lead of the race. And through he goes. Duquesne Engineering lead in Le Castellet. Paul Lafargue, the red highlights of IDEC Sport, now up to second ahead of Henrik Hedman. But Henrik Hedman, like Roman Rusinov, his main job is to keep his speed up and bring the car back in one piece. But in fact, Rusinov's already in the pits.
I think we did a good start at the beginning, was quite okay. Then we start to grain a little bit the front tires, and then I just lose quite a lot of grip. So we have to change the strategy a little bit.
Oh, there's a spinner. That's BHK Motorsports' Francesco Dracone. What happens here? Oh, a little bit of contact as he tries not to fall over one of the GTE Ferraris. Just ahead of that was this battle. Egidio Perfetti on the left, 77 Dempsey Proton Porsche goes by the Project 1 car. And now Duncan Cameron and Spirit to Race Ferrari is trying to go through as well. And he squeezes by. There's a Kessel Racing Ferrari right there too. First ELMS pit stop for Lutzich Racing. Fabien Laverne, the GTE race leader, is in. Fuel first. Duncan Cameron, Spirit of Race, following the 77 car into pit lane as well. So both of them stopping from third and fourth at the same time. And trouble for the IDEC Sport car. Paul Lafargue was in second position. And a spin for him. It was behind the Lucic Racing Ferrari. Maybe he was trying to cut underneath and the tyres just wouldn't let him. In the helmet, Manuela Gosner. Michelle Gattin congratulates her as they complete their first stint at Kessel Racing. Bruno Senna all over the back of Henrik Hedman for fourth as they go through past the GTE car. Hedman slow mid-corner and Senna lunges to the inside. Great opportunistic move, a classic Le Castellet final corner pass. Jonathan Hershey waiting for the 39 Graf car. Replay here of a narrow squeeze for David Drew, the blue car. Just avoiding Paul Scheuchner in the Inter-Europol number 14. Scheuchner closes the door. Drew for Real Team Racing has to find somewhere to go. Luckily there's lots of runoff. Pierre Rag in the Duquesne garage, teammate Nicolas Jamin now in the number 30 car and still with the lead of the race. Richard Bradley will be the third driver for Duquesne, and right now Louise Beckett is with Pierre Rag.
I did not the best start of my life, but I take a time to rejoin the gap, and let's see now what my teammate do, but I'm sure we are confident.
And so they should be. The car and engine combination is a well-known package. Duquesne always run a tight ship. It's up to the drivers to keep up the speed and avoid trouble. Another French team doing well, IDEC Sport. Louise Beckett is down with their sporting director, Nicolas Minassian.
Everything is going well. We've got good pace. You know, it's still a long race. And and we hang in there. First race, we always think you're ready, you're never ready enough, you know, but we're just gonna walk our way through and hopefully finish somewhere not far from the podium.
Battle for 8th. Ryan Cullen, United Autosports, dives to the inside of Dennis Anderson, the Dane, taking over from Anders Fjordbach in the high-class car. Ryan Cullen stays out for stint number 2. Ricardo Pera, another late lunge into the final corner from the Dempsey Proton driver, takes second in GTE from Jeff Seagal in the JMW Motorsport Ferrari. American driver, well experienced in the US, not so much here in Europe. Rahel Frey, she's been tucked up for 4th place by Fabio Babini. Rahel has had the occasional GT drive, did lots of DTM racing. 32nd lead for car number 30, Nicolas Jamin and Duquesne Engineering. So far this season opener going very well for them as we approach the halfway mark here in Le Castellet. Here's our GTE leader. Fabien Laverne stayed in the 51 Lucic Racing Ferrari. Also raced for the team in the Michelin Le Mans Cup, so he's getting plenty of track time. Mid-race pit stops, 39 Graf car Jonathan Hershey in the pit lane, but he has attracted some trouble on the way in.
Car 39 reported to the stewards for cutting the white line at pit entry.
And the Oregon car span in avoidance.
From my point of view, there is one car from LMP2 was trying to overtake another one in the pit lane entry. That is impossible. From 20 team, I try to turn the steering fast as I can. I spin by myself, but it's not my error.
Dragon Speed in the pits. This is Henrik Hedman, and they pit in 5th position, still definitely in the hunt. Duquesne Engineering, the number 30 car in the pits as well. Nicolas Jamin comes in as the race leader halfway through the 4 Hours of Le Castellet. So here's how they line up then. Duquesne, G-Drive United, the top 3. Will any or all of these still be in the lead group by the end of the race? Euro International, Real Time and Nielsen, the top 3 in LMP3. And Lucic Racing on their debut lead the GTE class. Dempsey Proton in 2nd position, JMW in 3rd. The Ferrari-Porsche battle well alight in GTE. But anything could yet happen. Battle for 3rd in LMP2, Job van Uytert just ahead of Jonathan Hershey. Don't forget G-Drive having to change their strategy, taking Roman Rusnov out early because of tyre deg. And Jonathan Hershey, perhaps with a penalty hanging over his head for a bizarre way of getting into the pit lane. Whatever, he scoots past Van Uytert around the outside, then squeezes the young Dutchman who squeezes back. But in the end, looked like Hershey had the slingshot into Senior and he moves through for 3rd position. Louise Beckett is with GTE leaders Lucic Racing.
I had two times on the front right, some damage, but the car is still okay. So yeah, one mirror is missing, but anyway, it's still a good.
The leaders have made their stop now. In come JMW. They come in from the lead, and a driver change for them as well. Louise Beckett's at Euro International.
It wasn't the plan. Our plan was to let me do a single stint, Jens a double, and then me in the end. But as there were no safety cars, no Fulcaciello coming, I had to continue because it was the best option for our race.
Racing hard and fast from the change of the lights. 2.25 hours already. James Allen now passing Roman Rusnov for 2nd. Dragon Speed go by G-Drive to the applause of the team. And there is Rusnov with Ryan Cullen and United Autosport 32 car closing in from behind, but too close perhaps. A little bit of wash from the car in front or just miscalculated the speed. And he has spun in the first corner.
Drive-through penalty, car 39 for cutting the white line at pit entry.
So Graf pay the price for Jonathan Hershey's impatience, and that's a real blow to their hopes. Gte Battle for 2nd, Christian Ried in the silver and black Porsche under real pressure from Rahel Frey. He drifts out wide at Senior and through she goes on the inside up to 2nd spot. The JMW Ferrari closing in as well. Dempsey Proton losing ground now. Battle for 3rd at Senior in LMP2. Memo Rojas versus Jonathan Hershey. Hershey drifts out wide. Memo Rojas comes straight back at him. IDEC Sport in third, Graf Racing's car down to fourth position. On to the Mistral, they come once more. Memo Rojas giving away the tow this time. Jonathan Hershey in the slipstream pulls out. He looks to go the long way around the outside. G-Drive car is right there as well. Hershey moves back up to third. Can Rojas counter-attack? Not right now. Traffic in front. Paul Chatin there, waiting to take over IDEC Sport as Alexandre Cuneau looking a little worried at Graf. Nicholas Nielsen now at the wheel of the Lusic Racing Ferrari, and the 51 car took the lead of GTE in the first turn, has not relinquished it yet except for the pit stops. On board with Nicolas Jamin, right in front is Memo Rojas. So this is the battle for fourth place. And Jamin for Duquesne Engineering, the number 30 car that led early on. In the slipstream of the IDEC Sport car that started on the front row of the grid. Here we go, the long way round the outside, but using the slingshot, the hole in the air of the car in front gives you a good run at him. And you have to be brave at senior, but it's very doable. Ben Hanley in for Henry Hedman at Dragon Speed. Ready to take the car to the end of the race. There is the number 30 Duquesne car that leads during the pit stops. Nearly an hour and 20 minutes to go. Richard Bradley still yet to drive. James Allen debriefing with his driving coach. Trouble for Martin Rich at RLRM Sport. What happens here just carries a little too much speed in, and the car won't change direction as he's hoping. Euro International leading in LMP3. This is Jens Pedersen at the wheel. So far, they have had a trouble-free race. Lots of speed on board the number 11 machine. Trouble-free as well for our GTE leaders. Nicholas Nielsen for Lusic, taking over from Fabien Laverne with pro driver Alessandro Pierguidi yet to come. Leonard Hogenboom, Panis Barthez, won at the Michelin Le Mans Cup last year with Jens Pedersen. A little bit of damage on the front of the car. Battle for third, Norman Nato for G-Drive, inside Paul-Luc Chatin. Raced with Racing Engineering last year in his debut season, Norman Nato. Paul-Luc Chatin for IDEC Sport, dives to the inside, comes back in Le Beausset. Rahel Frey, all at 6s and 7s here with Japanese rookie Nobuya Yamanaka. The Nielsen Racing driver closes the door, she sees it coming, and they both escape without too much drama. Battle for 10th, Will Stevens ahead of Nico Lapierre. Stevens racing for Panis Barthez, the number 23 machine. There he is, right beside him and underneath him and inside him. Through in Le Beausset goes Nico Lapierre. The Panis Barthez driver worked over by Lapierre in the Cool Racing machine. Nico Lapierre hunting down Alex Brundle, the United Autosports 32 car. Brundle, a 2016 LMP3 champion in the European Le Mans Series with United. And Lapierre looking inside, outside, everywhere but over the top. Brundle keeping the door closed as they work their way through these LMP3 cars. But Lapierre is all over the back of him, trying to find a way through. Battle for 8th continues. Alex Brundle for United Autosports. Nico Lapierre right behind him again in Le Beausset. Finds a little opening on the inside. Brundle drifts out wide. Still there on the inside, but Lapierre has moved up to 8th spot for Cool Racing ahead of United Autosports and Alex Brundle. Michel Mouton there with Kathy Muller. Kathy Muller, ex-Formula 3000 racer, has run a racing team for many years. Michel Mouton, of course, very nearly the World Rally Champion with Audi in the 80s in Group B. And she's now the FIA Women in Motorsport Commission President. She's here drawn by the Kessel Racing Trio. And you saw Michelle Gatting getting ready to take over the car that lies third from her teammate Rahel Frey. Final round of pit stops. Let's hear from Rahel.
The car was just amazing. I was really happy. We had a really nice pace out on track. So I think it's a good moment to thank to Kessel Racing Team, to all the mechanics. I was just happy in the car.
On his way perhaps to a podium finish on his European Le Mans Series debut. He's last year's Michelin Le Mans Cup champion Jens Pedersen for Euro International. Final stop for Ben Hanley at Dragon Speed as well. Just under 40 minutes on the clock. It's almost a full tank of fuel in an LMP2 car. Last stop for 26 G-Drive Racing. Norman Nato stays in as they fuel him ready to race. Lead battle in LMP3 is now well alight, and Mathieu Lahaye in the red car goes through on the inside. Ultimate Motorsport lead in LMP3 as he gets by Jens Pedersen's Euro International machine. Half an hour to go, a new leader in LMP3. Just took the race lead, says Marie-Alice. 30 minutes left, nobody can catch us. Don't slow down, don't take any risks. Richard Bradley heads out to the pit lane for Duquesne Engineering. That was not a scheduled final stop. They've dropped down to 4th place behind Norman Nato and G-Drive.
We are very calm, you know. It's our 4th season in ELMS. And we've lived before a lot of things, different things. So we all have fingers crossed, but till the end we are just waiting.
Mathieu Lahaye is fast and a safe pair of hands. No wonder Jean-Baptiste and François Heriot are relaxed. Battle for 3rd in LMP3, Tony Wells for Nielsen, and right behind him, Gustas Grintsbergas, the Lithuanian for Oregon. And Gustas, the man who started this race on pole in LMP3, sweeps around the outside at senior, doesn't quite have the overlap, but drifts out very wide indeed. Comes back on, keeps his momentum up. He will live to attack again. Ben Hanley at Dragon Speed, the number 21 car, looking unstoppable in the lead of the race. Little less than a dozen minutes left to go. Late spin for Konstantin Tereshchenko in the Panis Barthez 24 car. Just as well, those tyres don't have to do many more laps. 9 minutes remaining. Alessandro Pierguidi leading in GTE for Lutzich Racing. They are a lap ahead of their closest rivals, and that is Michel Gatting's Kessel Racing Ferrari. It's a Ferrari 1-2. The newcomers are on top of the pile in LMP3. It's Mathieu Lahaye in the 17 Ultimate car, also a lap ahead of second placed Jens Pedersen at Euro International. Just a handful of laps left for Ben Hanley, an old head on young shoulders. Keep the speed up, avoid the dramas, especially when lapping traffic. He goes by the JMW Motorsport Ferrari, more cars in front. Oh, in trouble, Algar Pro, and that is Konstantin Tereshchenko again, right in front of the leader. Nobody needs that. Minute and a half left to go. The Kessel Racing Ferrari, second in GTE, is right in front of him. Yellow's out, but no safety car, no full course yellows so far. And only one lap to go. Last lap of the race for Ben Hanley and Dragon Speed. He's escaped a couple of heart-in-the-mouth moments in traffic. Now working his way around Le Castellet for the final time. They have not put a foot wrong, neither team nor drivers. Hanley and Henrik Hedman joined this season by James Allen. It looks like a potent combination, doesn't it, on this showing? Yellow flags out right at the end of the lap, so he'll have to be on his toes when he heads down into the final few corners. LMP3 cars in front of him, and they will be carrying much less speed out of senior, so he gobbles them up into the Double-Edouard du Beausset. But for Ben Hanley, just 4 corners remain, separating him from the checkered flag. The Inter-Europol driver leaves the door wide open on the inside for the race leader. Tereshchenko crawling round behind, but down to the final corners comes Ben Hanley. And it is going to be the end for Dragon Speed, the American team. Victory in Le Castellet 2019 to open the season with a win. Means a lot to Henrik Hedman, doesn't it? Victory 2 for Alessandro Pierguidi with rookie team Luzic Racing. He's the only experienced GT driver in the lineup. Newcomers to European Le Mans Series and Michelin Le Mans Cup. They were on the podium the day before. They win the European Le Mans Series race here in Le Castellet. And right behind them, Mathieu Lahaye, the LMP3 winner for Ultimate, their first European Le Mans success too. And that is a real family effort. Confirmation of the overall and LMP2 podium. Dragon Speed, the winners from IDEX Sport and Duquesne. In LMP3, Ultimate's number 17 car is at the top of the pile from Euro International and Inter Europol in third. GTE winners, Luzic Racing, Kessel's all-female crew in second. Dempsey Proton's Porsche, the 77 car in third. Ben Hanley brings the Dragon Speed car into Parc Fermé. Race winners once more.
All the guys did an amazing job, and it gave me a lead just to manage. So that's all it was. The end of the race, just managing the pace. You know, we probably had quite a bit more in our pocket, but there was no point in taking any risks. So that's why, you know, a few laps from the end, I saw them two fighting, and I was just hanging back and waiting for something to happen. And you know, unfortunately for them, it did, and I was able to avoid it quite easily. But yeah, just a great job by everyone, and yeah, really good start to the season.
Podium time for the understated Henrik Hedman, Ben Hanley and new teammate James Allen. Paul Lafargue, Paul-Luc Chatin and Memo Rojas in second. Nicolas Jamin, Pierre Rag and Richard Bradley in third. G-Drive, the reigning champions, only fourth here. That's where they lie in the points after the first race. The first Ligier in sixth with United Autosports. Ligier knew Le Castellet was not to be their best event. Carlin, the newcomers, finished 11th. Ultimate Motorsport delighted with LMP3 victory. The Lahaye brothers and Francois Heriot overcoming their jinx.
It was a crazy race, a crazy week, because all the team worked very hard this week, because we had some engine problem on Tuesday, and we only fixed it on Saturday morning. So it was a difficult beginning of week for us, but good happy ending, so that's perfect for us.
Jean-Baptiste and Mathieu Lahaye joined on the top step by Francois Heriot. Mathieu's wife, Marie-Alice, the team manager and race engineer, with them as well. Mikkel Jensen, Jens Pedersen in second. Martin Hipper and Nigel Moore taking third for Inter Europol. They're the top three in the championship, of course. Oregon, the pole sitters, ended up with fourth position. Search in vain, though, for last year's champions, RLR M Sport on page one. They only finished in 12th. And more stories in GTE. Rookie team Luzic Racing taking victory after narrowly missing out the day before in the Michelin Le Mans Cup. What a debut.
The lineup was the key, for sure. Fabian did an incredible job at the beginning with a double stint. Then also Niklas make a great job. And I had to manage the pace until the end. We were leading always from the beginning to the end. And it's amazing for Luzic Racing. His first race in new championship. After we won last year in GT Open, now we are here. We start in the best way next season. And let's hope we keep going like that in the next race.
And an amazing second place for Kessel Racing's all-female crew. Manuela Gostner, Rahel Frey and Michelle Gatting in the hunt all day long. Third place went to the pole sitters Dempsey Proton's Porsche with Christian Ried, Ricardo Pera and Matteo Cairoli. So perhaps a surprise top three with new names. Last year's frontrunners did suffer. The reigning champions, the 88 Proton competition car, only finishing in 7th place in GTE. Tyre management clearly better for the Ferraris in Le Castellet as they finished 1-2. Luzic, Kessel and Dempsey Proton top the pile from JMW, Spirit Race and Ebby Motors.
Yo, check this out.
First choice today, it's gentleman driver versus gentleman driver in the green and white Spirit of Race Ferrari. Duncan Cameron, Gte Perfetti in the Project One Porsche just in front of him as they work their way around the first corners. Cameron on the inside in turn 3, gets by the Norwegian and hangs on into turn 4. By the time they get to the Mistral straight, he's closing on the Porsche in front. Classic LMP2 Le Castellet move now. Roman Rusanov with Jonathan Hershey's Graf Racing car in his slipstream. Top speed as they get to senior is well north of 300 kilometers an hour. Hershey goes the long way round the outside, closes the door, tries to give himself racing room, and through he goes. Our final choice, it's Ricardo Pera selling the dummy to Jeff Seagal. Last corner, outside, inside, it's another Le Castellet classic, but that probably doesn't make it any better for the Ferrari driver. So if you've made your choice for the best pass, here's where to vote.
Welcome to the Temple of Speed.
Every turn 7.